All right, we'll call the meeting to order. I'd like to welcome you all to the Monday, April 6th Planning Commission meeting. If you'd all stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, first item on the agenda is approval of the minutes from the October 6, 2025 meeting. You were all emailed those. Unless you see any issues, I will entertain a motion and second to approve those.
So moved.
Second.
All right, is there any further discussion on those? Andrew?
Motion on the floor to approve the October 6, 2025 Planning Commission meeting minutes. Dick?
Yes.
Jack?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
Tyson?
Yes.
AJ?
Yes.
Bryan?
Yes.
Motion carried, minutes approved.
All right, it's actually not on the agenda, but we will have election of officers. This is our first actual meeting of the year. Typically, we elect a chair and a vice chair. I'm the current chair, and Mr. Hallett is the current vice chair. We will open the floor for a motion for a chair and a vice chair. We can do it all in one motion if you'd like.
I'll make a motion to keep it the same.
I'll say.
Okay, Andrew?
All right, motion on the floor to keep Bryan as the chair and Dick as the vice chair. Tyson?
Yes.
Jack?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
AJ?
Yes.
Bryan?
Yep.
Dick?
Yes.
All right, motion carried. Chairs elected.
All right, thank you, I guess. All right, next item on the agenda is a use variance for mini self-storage in the C2 district. Andrew, I'll turn it over to you and you can bring us up to speed on it.
All right, we are applying for a use variance for mini self-storage in a C2 district. This will be behind Carpet Wholesalers located at 211 South Union Street. And mind you, this is very preliminary, but they are proposing 4 buildings, roughly 80 units behind Carpet Wholesalers in this grass area currently. At this time, I will turn it over to Sean if he wants to address the commission and answer any questions that you may have.
Thanks, Andy. Yeah, thank you guys for your time today. I'll keep this brief. We're just looking, I have my partner, and we happen to be partnered up with the owner there of Carpet Wholesalers, and we had done some research and still see, although there's self-storage in Bryan, per the population, there's still some demand. So we thought of being able to utilize this land back here that wasn't being currently used for anything to build some self-storage to provide that for the community here in Bryan. My partner and I currently own self-storage over in the Toledo area, so we're pretty familiar with this type of business. And so we were just proposing that maybe we seek an opportunity here to develop some of this land back here. We think the location is good, tucked back. It's going to be low traffic. It's already zoned for commercial, although not yet zoned or varied for what we're going to be using it for. But I'd be happy to answer any questions in regards to this proposal here.
Is it going to be gated?
So what we plan on doing at the time, for the time being, is certainly to provide fencing, primarily for the residents there, to not be able to see the lights and see the cars pulling in and out of the park of the storage. That way we block some of that off.
I see.
We plan on having security cameras and everything over there in that area also. That way if there was to be some issue, we would have it documented and so forth.
How high a fence?
Gosh, it's a good question. Probably 8 foot, 10 foot, I'm not sure.
8 would be the max.
8 foot. Because ideally we'd be using it to block off visibility from the storage.
get it.
Yeah, it's, I
Well, I
think
don't know
you'll
if
get to
maybe
him.
we'll
There's,
just-
there's someone with a hand up, but we'll get to him when Mr. Skyver's done.
Right, yeah, yeah. We won't do a question and answer here. We'll let you speak when he's done, okay? All right, thank you.
One thing I would say about the fencing, with carpet wholesalers needing deliveries back here, you can see where they're currently, the stone parking lot is that they use, to get deliveries in their truck dock on the rear of the building. Fencing in the buildings, we feel would be difficult, because it would limit carpet wholesalers' access to their truck dock, so. But you're proposing fencing on
Correct.
the south
This
and
back
east
side
side?
and then up the back of the property. We're primarily gonna fence off here and then run them up that way.
Okay. I did get a question on lighting. What kind of lighting do you have? So is it building mounted or poles or?
We haven't really proposed too much on the lighting side, but I would imagine a combination. We may have some on buildings and then some pole lighting to get up higher. I would imagine we would have also.
Yeah, I think the residents' concern would be if it would be direct down lighting or if they were like wall packs mounted on the building facing towards their houses. I
Okay,
guess that's
that's a
what the
fair
concerns
concern.
were, yeah.
It may make more sense for us on this particular project to do more lower mounted lighting, something to keep it down, and so we're not shining and basically flooding the neighborhoods with lights. So we would absolutely keep that in consideration. I mean, we're here to work collaboratively with the city to make sure that when we put this up, it's gonna make sure it aligns with the residents, the community, of course, and the other businesses.
And we've been successful in our parks too, because obviously they're built within residential neighborhoods where we can put a cone on a light that will keep it from spraying into a home.
Okay,
So something that's a little more directional that will light up the area you need without spraying in, maybe something that we would ask that you look into.
absolutely, yeah,
And it's not really even that expensive of a feature.
cool.
There be a total of 80 units? Is that?
Yep, currently we're proposing around 80 units. It'll be a various sizes, 5 to 10s, 10 by 10s, and so on.
There'll all be outside access?
Yep, these are all going to be single level, outside access, not climate controlled, no in and out buildings, it's just going to be drive up access.
Okay, is there, when we initially met, you didn't know whether you would lease this property or split it off. Is there an answer on that one yet?
Currently, the proposed plan is to go with a lease. So working closely with carpet wholesalers and leasing that land in somewhat of a partnership for that property, so it would be on a lease.
Do you know how long the terms will be?
So the lease, we're still in discussion on a lot of that right now. We were kind of waiting to see if we got approved for the variance, but right now we've talked closely and we've got right now 25 years.
So long term.
That answer most of your questions for now? I mean, we could,
The only other item we need to look at is currently the stormwater retention pond located along the south property line. It's sized for carpet wholesalers and their parking. If this gets approved and built, they will need to address that stormwater retention because they are adding significantly more runoff.
right, oh, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, their engineering plans will need to be submitted, drainage plan, stormwater retention, stormwater management will need to be, submitted to the engineer to our office
Okay.
for review and everything. So yeah, that retention area will need to be expanded,
Okay.
obviously, to take care of that, so, yeah.
Will the ingress and egress be paved, or are you looking at stone or
So it'll be,
chip and seal, or
yeah,
what?
great question. The majority of the lot for the self-storage is going to be primarily stone and gravel. There'll be concrete slabs, obviously, for each building. And we're going to be basically having easements there on the concrete drive for carpet holes, because we don't expect a lot of traffic in and out all the time. So we'll be sharing with an easement on the drive, and then the back where the units are will be gravel and concrete.
Okay, well, unless anyone else has questions, I mean, we can ask them back up again if we have questions, but unless not, we can move on to someone else. Okay, gentlemen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
May call you back.
Thank you.
Any,
All right, sir,
Comment.
you had a question? If you want to get up to the podium and state your name, please. Sir? Yes.
My name is James Bailey.
Okay, and what's your address?
1119 Bavarian Lane.
Okay,
That property's been landlocked for over 50 years. Glad to see it being developed. Got some questions, obviously, with the fencing. May I ask him, or?
I mean, yeah, you can ask us.
Who do I
We'll-
direct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You folks? Okay, fair enough. I would like to know whether we're talking about stockade-type fencing or a chain link fencing, I mean, because of headlights and so on and so forth. Currently, anybody that lives from about where my home is located, east on Bavarian Lane, our neighbor just to the north of us, the Farm and Fleet store, has a lot of traffic in and out all hours of the day and night because of trash removal and deliveries. And currently, that's a cyclone-type fence. And so there's a lot of light and a lot of noise that we've dealt with for a number of years. Obviously, I like the idea of the lighting. That was one of the other things that was addressed, to keep it like the city streetlights. Those are really quite acceptable, They keep the light low, and yet you can see across the street to your neighbor's house, without it being intrusive. And glad to see them do something with it. I heard Mr. Hallett ask about where will they be getting in and out. I'm assuming now Union Street?
same
So-
driveway, yes.
Okay, all
Mhm.
right. So you're not going to be having, without a fence here, this is your Farm and Fleet.
He's going to put a fence there,
Okay, that's
Yeah.
good news. Of course, we'd love to have a fence here,
and he's going to put one there, yep.
and that's good news. The retention pond absolutely is going to have to be addressed.
Get bigger, that's what we just said, yep.
I will say this, for many, many years, because that was landlocked, prior to the carpet wholesalers being there, we had a heck of a time trying to figure out who needed to keep that mowed and so on and so forth. And carpet wholesalers absolutely stepped up and has been taking care of that property for a number of years now. And, nobody likes critters quite that close to. So that's good news. And I assume if they're going to put money into it, they'll continue to take care of it the way they have here in the recent past. I don't know whether this needs to be brought up now or not, but I guess sooner or later it's going to be addressed, if not by me, by others. Is there going to be any tax abatement involved in this?
I don't think there's any incentive. It's not creating any jobs,
Absolutely not.
so
Yeah.
there wouldn't be any tax abatement involved.
Okay. All right. Other than that, you've answered all my questions. I appreciate your time today. Thank you.
Well, Mr. Bailey, can I say something really quick?
Absolutely.
Thank you for, first of all, coming up and engaging in your local government, but also for keeping an open mind as a neighbor, because I know when change happens, it can be, really upsetting at times, but I appreciated your questions, and I appreciated your feedback, and I appreciated that you didn't walk in here completely against a project from the beginning. I think that, that's kudos to you, and also for carpet wholesalers and already proving that they're
They've been
good
good
neighbors. So,
Yeah.
you've already built that trust with them, that if they're gonna bring someone else in, they're gonna be able to speak for them. So,
Not a problem.
thank you.
Andrew, am I correct in noting that the code requires screening next to the residential?
Yeah.
So like the fence will have to have screening in it, or will have to have,
Basket weave? or-
yeah.
Do you guys
Yeah.
know
Such as
what
what
kind
we-
of screening it will be?
Probably
We
be,
don't yet, but our intentions were certainly that. It wasn't just gonna be the.
probably like a chain link fence maybe with screening in
It was gonna
it.
be the weaving in it or something to help obstruct any light
Okay.
from passing through as much as possible anyway.
Gotcha. Okay.
Is that
So any-
okay, Mr. Bailey?
Yeah, go ahead, sir, if you'd like to.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Anything, we don't have a big trash problem coming from carpet wholesalers. A little bit from the properties over here, okay?
Sure.
And I'm not gonna go any further with it than that, there's no point to it. They're commercial, they're selling products that, a lot of their packaging goes into dumpsters, and if anything, the fencing will help trap.
Sure, as the wind blows.
Yes,
Yeah.
and the wind's been blowing this year.
Yes, it has.
So, anyway, again, I don't have any complaints with that business. I've never seen anything, but, most people in Bryan, when the wind blows and things end up in your yard, you just go out and pick it up.
Yep.
That's, that's the way it's done.
We have a hard
Trash,
we
gas
have-
station.
Yeah.
A lot of trash comes across from the gas station in my yard.
Yeah,
You didn't hear it from me.
and we have a heart to keep the property clean, picked up. It's not gonna be a dump, it's not gonna be a storage site outside of those garages. So we will take pride in that property and make sure it is clean. The trash isn't just blown inside or outside of that fence and just left there. So,
Well, again, over the 50-plus years that I've lived in that neighborhood, carpet wholesalers has probably been one of the absolute better neighbors. And because it's landlocked, I don't know what better purpose than something that, you're not dealing with people rolling in and out,
Not like a car wash, you're saying,
Well, I'll say there used to be, just to the north there, a restaurant that is no longer a restaurant. The rumor is it's going to be a radio station. Well, the restaurant, because of the drive-through, was a constant flow of headlights in and out of people's, and, but they're gone, you know, so they moved across town. And so, you know, we've had a number of years of quiet out there, and you kind of get used to that. It'd be nice to keep it that way. I know progress is progress.
Okay, thank you. All right, sir, go ahead, sorry.
My name's Harold Steinmetz. I live at 1025 Bavarian. Be this house right here. Now, I haven't been in this neighborhood as long as the gentleman here, but I've only moved in 2 years ago. This right here is my hangout. So my concerns are more, you know, my investment. I understand a lot worse things could be developed on this land, so I'm not totally opposed to storage units. I am curious though, the fence, will that be run south of the retention pond? Will the retention pond be inside the fence?
I think we'll be just out of that retention pond and running this way.
Okay, if they're gonna extend the retention pond, I was just wondering if that's gonna be covered by the fence or if that,
I don't know how far up we'll run it in front of that, like to block off said retention pond.
yeah, okay. Yeah, so that yellow line.
So, yeah, right there's the end of the retention pond.
Right,
I would make the suggestion that you at least cover past where you're putting in drive. So currently, if that building sits there,
Yeah,
your fence needs to go to basically the edge of the stone
yeah, I would agree.
now.
Now, would that go near the yellow line, the green line?
Probably the south line, probably closer to the property line, wouldn't it?
There is utilities in there, sewer, electric, and communication. The fence should probably be near the yellow line, based off the utility location, which the yellow line would be the parking setback.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, basically the south edge of the detention pond, if you extend that south edge down, is probably gonna be your best location for the fence.
I have a question right now. That picture is different than the one that he handed us today.
yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
ask that too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what's the hot
That
pink?
first building.
I got that one
Well,
too.
The building is, the first building, yeah. I guess, so which one,
Oh, yeah.
which
When
one
that-
are we doing?
When they came to my office, we laid this out two ways. The one we've been looking at was for them just leasing the grass space in the rear of the building. The other option they were looking at is splitting the lot off, which they could do, which would put Carpet Wholesalers property line here and then connecting back to the north. And then this would be creating a new parcel that they could buy and then develop. With that, there was several challenges. First, you're looking, this green hash area would have been egress easement for Carpet Wholesalers and the proposed storage units. And then you were looking at proposed easements for utilities crossing from Carpet Wholesalers, crossing the new parcel to the detention pond. They also would have had their sanitary connection in here somewhere for Carpet Wholesalers that hooks into this main down here. So there was a lot more hurdles to jump if they wanted to split it and then develop it.
Well, but which building layout are we looking at? Are we looking at this one here that has an east-west building layout? Or are we looking at the prior one that has 4 north-south ones?
They're all-
Since they're
That'd be the
gonna
north-south
lease.
one.
North-south ones.
That layout there?
So that one.
Yep.
Okay.
different layout proposals here?
No,
No.
that's
Not
the one it's
currently.
gonna be because they're gonna lease the property.
Just this one.
Okay. And the yellow line represents the fencing?
Approximate.
That's the yellow line is the edge of the utility easement.
Okay.
So all the utilities are from that yellow line south. So where the yellow line projects through south of those buildings, that's where a fence could be, which would be about, is that 20 feet roughly, Andrew? 20 feet north of the property
I believe
lines.
so, yes.
Okay, so from west to east,
There won't be a fence through the retention pond, no.
no, I get that. This is the property line,
That's the property line.
okay? And that's your utility,
Yep.
okay? I guess what I'm asking is there going to be a fence?
Move your finger higher.
I'm sorry.
The fence will be a little higher, right through there.
Right
Yep,
in through here?
yep.
And probably
Then stop, and then stop before you get to the pond.
Stop at the
Okay.
stone.
Right, because nobody can get through the pond anyway,
Mhm.
but I guess one of the problems that, I'm not sure where 1119 would be, but here you are. Okay. It isn't as prevalent today as it was back in the Kmart days, but people would literally park on Bavarian Lane and walk between these two properties to get to that property, the
Yeah.
old Kmart.
You have that on
And
file.
I've been praying for the day that that fence be extended to separate residential from commercial, so that that kind of thing comes to an end. Because when you have people doing this from Bavarian Lane to there, these two folks, myself included, got a liability problem. Somebody trips, somebody falls, they shouldn't have been there to begin with, but that's the way the law is. So I would love to see a fence on the south side of their property to separate.
Well, they're gonna do
They're gonna.
southeast,
Okay. Well, that's.
but they're not gonna go all the way to to South Union. They're gonna go right.
I get that, well, I understand why they can't go through or around the retention pond. And then the size of how much larger the retention pond is going to be determined on how much cement, how much roof. As I remember, that's the way it's determined.
Did you say your address is 1119?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I just looked it up on the map, so you actually, your back lot touches the old Kmart building.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, all right, so you're, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, you're 5 more houses down past this.
So he won't even see the fence.
Right, yeah, he won't even touch it, yep. I was just trying to get a visualization where you're
Well, that's
at.
kind of what
Yeah.
same thing here. I'm just trying to get a.
Yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, let's see, you're 25. Trying to see how many
Okay.
houses past you are.
So maybe I'm wrong here. Is that the old Mickey D's property right there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So then.
You're 4 houses past that, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
correct.
All right. Okay. I was thinking this was where the old Kmart.
No. No.
In fact, it's not going to go that far.
No.
No, just east of that is the old,
That's
or the
why I'm
Wendy's.
just trying to clarify what we're
We'll
going
see
to do.
what Jones is concerned.
Okay, sorry, sir.
Thank you.
That's
Did you
okay.
have other things
Yeah,
to address?
one more quick question. I guess I'm more curious about the fence and where it'll be and what, like right now, my property line, I mow to the property line, that area between the fence and my property line will be maintained by you guys? Is that the plan, or will that be my responsibility, or?
It'll still be property owners, it'll still be carpet wholesalers. I mean, do they mow it now?
Yes, they do.
Yeah, it'll still be theirs, yeah. You won't have to maintain anything past your property line.
Okay. Okay, I think that's all I had. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
absolutely.
you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
At this time, I would like to note that I did receive 3 calls on this request. One was from a Thomas Rupp and Carol Wilson. They own property.
Brook Properties next door to mine.
Okay, yeah, it'd be down here. After talking with, initially they were against this. After talking to him, going through some of the issues, they were not as against it. Their concerns were lighting and noise, which the screening is gonna help both of those. The other call I got was from Mary Peaster, and she lives right here. And she was gonna be at the meeting. Is she here? Not seeing her.
She would live right next to the root property.
Yes. She was against it, citing traffic concerns, and she disagreed with you on the trash. She said, yeah, there's a lot of trash from carpet wholesalers when their dumpster's not closed and the wind picks up closed, so. But like we said, with the fence would collect that trash before it gets to her property, so. Those are the 3 calls that I've received.
So I think I would ask the engineering team to just be very careful, and I know you guys always are with the stormwater, to make sure we don't end up with water in these folks' backyard with this retention, since we're gonna cover a lot of it with stone and cement. Because that did happen, not in a residential area, but when Fountain City Vet ended up with a lot of extra water for a while.
Yeah, that was all before our time.
I know,
Yeah.
so that's why I'm just asking that we're as careful as we can be so their backyards aren't flooded or retaining water in an area that's not supposed to. And then just with the light heads, make sure, that we're communicating if we have any issues with the residents calling in. Maybe we work on that directional piece.
Is there anyone else from the public that would like to come up and speak? Or anyone from the city utilities? Any questions? Do we have any discussion or questions or comments?
No. I'll entertain a motion to accept the variance use for the mini self-storage in the C2 area, 211 South Union Street.
Second.
Before we get to the vote, can we put in some verbiage regarding screening and stormwater retention in that? Technically, this is not a new site, so it wouldn't have to come back for a site development plan review.
Right, does not, correct.
I would include that in the proposal that final site plan review be conducted by Bryan and myself through the
By
engineer's
engineering.
office to make sure everybody's concerns are met.
I will amend my motion to include those items.
Second.
All right, motion on the floor to approve the use variance for mini self-storage in a C2 with the condition that final site plan approval be approved by city engineer's office. Good with that? All right. Dick?
Yes.
Jack?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
Tyson?
Yes.
AJ?
Yes.
Bryan?
No.
All right. Motion carried, use variance approved.
Okay.
All right, next item on the agenda is a use variance for a duplex in an R1 district at 910 Center Street. Andrew?
All right. This item is for Glenn and Rebecca Shear. Currently at 910 Center Street, there is a house that fronts Center Street. Then Shear Plumbing and Heating and Woolis was located in this building out behind that had access off of Mayberry Drive. Mr. Shear is proposing to split this lot and convert this back building into a duplex. Initially, that back building was constructed in 2 phases. When it was originally built, it was kind of set up as, for future use as a residential use. And then when they added on to it, they basically added a second residential unit to it. Glenn, do you know what year that was? Are we talking 80s, 90s?
I think the first, when Dad built it, it would be in the late 50s. And then when we added on for storage, that would have been, I think, in the early 70s.
Okay. So, there's a little background. Mr. Shear's already been in contact with the surveyor about splitting the lot off. As you can see here, we do have some issues with right-of-way and access to the lot.
Yeah, Mayberry Drive has always existed on
Yes.
the top of the lot there, and there's always just been a gentleman's agreement that it can exist on there. But when Mr. Shear came into our office, I just said, hey, why don't we clean this up, and what can we do to acquire that? And Glenn had said, well, I have no issues just giving you that triangle. So we had offered to, we said we could probably work out an easement as well, just to give an ingress egress easement back. So we'll have to try and work that out with our administrative team and city council. But I think we can make that work out to get the ground back that exists on the right of way and provide an easement for his driveway there. So that's just one thing we're gonna try and work out internally as well here, ultimately with him. Just so you know, it's not done yet, but we're gonna propose that.
Approximately, how many square feet per unit, Glenn, are you proposing?
I'd say 40 by 28 for each unit.
What is that in hundred square feet?
It's fair size.
Where is that in hundred square feet?
Yeah, they meet the minimum footprint requirement.
Which is 800?
1,000.
1,000,
This would be 1120.
yeah.
I know, I just,
It's an existing structure too. I mean, that's the biggest thing.
well, I know. It's just in the middle of the park, and adding 2 more units versus 1 is where I'm having a little struggle. Because then you have the 3 families. I personally, and this is a Schlade issue, but I have 5 vehicles in my parking lot for 1 family. You could have 10 and 5 more right there in that area, depending on who's driving what.
The good news is there's a lot of stone parking already existing.
That's true.
How many employees did you have at your most?
10.
10 employees at your most?
Yeah.
Right.
But outside of your morning meetings, most of them weren't there for very long, were they?
Some of them drove the vehicles home.
Yeah.
These would be two-bedroom, single-bath units, are you proposing? Well,
Correct.
Well, the one would only have one bedroom,
Oh, just,
because there's a garage in it.
oh, I see, okay. That would be a
One
single,
of the answers is a garage.
Yeah.
So it'd probably be one two-bedroom and one one-bedroom. But they each have a single bath.
any idea of the rent that you are thinking of in charging for these units?
I talked to Jeannie Shankster. It's like, do we make it turn it into one house or a duplex? And I think it was, her figure would be $850 for each house.
For each.
Apartment. I think,
It could vary.
so
Yeah.
$850 times 2. If it was one, if we leave it one house, maybe 1,300.
Well, I certainly think that the city needs more housing. That's an issue that seems to capture a lot of publicity lately. And
I guess, is there anyone from the public here that has any questions or comments?
I would like to note that I did not receive any calls or communications on this request, so.
Gotcha.
Were there
As far as
any
utilities, did we work out the water line? I think we did, didn't we? Derek, you and I talked about it,
He's been
Brock?
talking with Jimmy, but there is a water line adjacent.
Yeah, we can get the water service separated?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
It's basically just Rob, the only one within 250 feet.
I have a question, would there need to be 2 water lines pulled? So-
Yeah, you have to separate the
So
services.
each place
Yeah.
would have separate service.
He's nodding behind you, the director of utilities, sorry.
I guess at this time, I was thinking we'd have one water line, and we would pay for the water fee.
So the city is not in charge of water and electric. There's a separate board and the director's back there, so that you'd have to go with his policy and procedures,
Yeah,
so
but-
he's.
But I don't know if that would be, I mean, we're getting up there in age,
Would-
and this is gonna go to somebody else eventually. And if that's gonna be a problem later on, to have the utility included in the rent. I don't know.
I'm guessing it's in your policies, so I don't know if you want to ask him later, but if they need 2 water, I think they need a water meter for each unit.
If it's a single unit home, then it would be one water service, but if you're gonna break it up into a duplex, we would probably recommend 2 services.
2 separate water lines. Because that's how you calculate the sewage, is by the water line.
Yeah. Yeah, the water use calculates the sewer.
Do you have any questions or comments or discussion amongst us or thoughts? Mayor, do you have any?
I think my only comment would be going from a commercial establishment to a residential, I think adds something to the area. And being that we're only talking 3 bedrooms overall, it's not going to be large families that are moving in. And based on the approximate rent, that certainly will categorize the folks that will be wanting that type of a unit. So,
from a design standpoint, engineers are taught that you look at trip ends, like a trip generation study. You look at square footage of a commercial structure versus square footage of a residential or, bedrooms. 3 bedrooms generates less trip ends than the commercial structure would, what the book says.
Sure.
Obviously, I mean, it could vary, obviously, but you would think it would generate less trips per day than the commercial would.
Well, I'll make a motion that the use variance be approved for the duplex in the R1 zoning.
I'll second that.
Brian, was that you?
Pardon me?
Was that you the second?
I second it, yes, sir.
Motion on the floor to approve the variance for a duplex in an R1. Dick?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Jack?
Yes.
Mayor?
No.
Tyson?
Yes.
AJ?
Yes.
All right, motion carried, use variance approved.
Mr. Whelan, could we introduce, is this Mr. Novacek's first meeting, I believe?
Yes, it is. AJ, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Sorry, I
Yeah.
didn't want to do it after I realized, like, while they were talking about their storage units, that we were just throwing AJ in, like, drinking from a fire hose.
You
So
gonna-
apologies.
Gonna stick it out for another meeting, you think?
I've been through worse.
So,
Think you'll make it?
I'll make it.
You make it for another one?
Oh.
Anyway.
All right, good.
welcome, AJ Novacek. He comes here from Ward 2. We appreciate you joining our Planning and Zoning Commission.
Yes, we do.
Thank you.
Welcome, AJ.
Andrew, do you have anything on the radar for next month yet?
Nothing as of right now.
Okay, that's good to know. Board members, do you have any questions or comments?
No, sir, none for me.
Mayor, anything?
No, sir, just that.
Okay,
Thank you,
with,
Bryan and Dick, for agreeing to be chair and vice chair again. Appreciate that as well.
okay, with that, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second.
All right, motion on the floor to adjourn. Tyson?
Yes.
AJ?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Dick?
Yes.
Jack?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
Motion carried, meeting adjourned.
All right, thank you all for attending.